All right, welcome back, everyone. This is Ebony, aka Fit Mom Diva of Simplicity Health Style, and today we have Theodora with us. How are you, Theodora?
Very good, thank you. How about you?
I'm awesome. I thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to connect with me. You guys, she is way across the seas. I'm in the US, and she took time out of her day on a Friday evening to talk to you guys. So
Yeah.
listen to the end and see what awesome pieces of information and gems of knowledge that she has to share with you. And for those of you that do listen to the end, you'll have an opportunity to get a complimentary gift. So Theodora, just start us off by sharing a motivational quote that really inspires you and motivates you.
So I'm. This is from the Bible. I'm not sure where's the verse, so I'll just have to say how I remember it. It says, "Say, set your eyes on things that you can't see. So set your eyes on unseen things. You know, something. I don't know if you can get it, but
Set your eyes on unseen things.
yes. So I will just explain a bit. Like, sometimes we just have this plan and we don't see it coming to fruition,
Yes.
and then we just can't imagine it. But we have to set that eye to the end goal. We have to imagine what we want to achieve, and then just focus on that, and then slowly take the steps towards that. So set your eyes on unseen things.
I love that. And I actually, little do you know, just got finished writing a blog article that is very much related to this. It's about visualization and manifestation. And I currently have some goals in mind right now that I'm working toward. I'm taking the action steps necessary to achieve these things that I want for myself in my life. And sometimes it can be difficult because we're saying, well, how is it going to happen? And really, if we take little baby steps and we really trust in the process and
Yeah.
have faith, we can definitely see our dreams come to pass. It just takes faith and it takes action. We can't sit here all day and think about it and dream about it, but not do anything, expect it to fall into our laps. So it's a twofold
Exactly.
process. Tell us
Exactly.
about a time in your own life where maybe you didn't see the light at the end of the tunnel and you had some external circumstances come into play and maybe you said, I don't think this is going to ever happen. But at the end of the day, you were actually able to bring that goal or that dream to fruition.
For example, I wrote my first novel and then self-published it, and it took me a long time. In the process, I had two children, and I thought I was never going to be able to get that book out of me. But in the end, I did some workshops, and one of the teacher told me, like, just pour your thoughts down. Don't worry about the editing or anything else that you might feel like you have to do in that moment. Forget about that. Focus on what you have in front of you, the story, and then just put it on paper. And then, so that kind of opened the tunnel for me, and I started just pouring the ideas down.
Mhm.
And in the end, it took me a couple of years, but in the end, I got the words down to a point where I said, "This is the novel. This is where I want it to be." And then I got it out. But just sometimes you just have to pour yourself out into what you set your goals is, and then just the tunnel will be opening for you.
Yes, and I have a few book ideas in mind of my own. And sometimes we think of it as this daunting process and like it's going to be over consuming. But if we work on it a little bit at a time and we don't worry about does it really sound good and is it
Yeah,
going to reach the right people and should I say
exactly.
this or maybe I should say it this way? I think if we just put our thoughts out on paper and just allow the editing to come later, it will
Later.
really ring true for that authenticity that we're really trying to put
Exactly.
out there into the world.
hmm I just agree with that, because sometimes we stop ourselves by being too rational, analyzing what, what, and then you just end up spending like a whole day
Hmm.
um for one word, and you could have just written those words and just, okay, you know what, I'm just putting the thoughts here, and then I'll just come back to it to look over it again. So yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes we just have to let go of perfection and just, just do it.
Yes, and I believe that most of the people that are reading it, they are not thinking about if that word in that sentence sounded the best from the dictionary. They're getting the general context, and as long as they can see your passion in your words, that's all they care about. They're not looking for 100% perfection anyway. So I think that sometimes we stall our growth by making it 100% perfect when it doesn't even matter. And I often say that sometimes some of the things that we do are so much more ahead the general population that often dreams of things but don't actually take the implementation steps. So this book that we're trying to make perfect is already so many steps ahead of people that are saying, yeah, that would be nice to write a book one day. And they die with their book inside of them, you know? So I think that you doing imperfect action is sometimes just as impactful as it being 100% perfect in your mind.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, for the first book, like I just said, like, this is not going to be maybe my bestseller or whatever, but I'm just putting out there and just kind of let that go. And
Right.
then I'm a person that sometimes I block myself because I set this goal and I have to overcome it. So in the process of, letting go, I've learned to just do it instead of overthinking it. And I think that is helping me, and especially like with this latest story that I'm writing, it just comes from the heart, and I just sit there and start writing, and that's it. So I don't think too much. So I have a lot of story going on right now, which can be can be also maybe not good, but at the same time, I think it's in a way it's helping me mature more.
Yeah. And oftentimes when we're over analytical, overthinking situations, we sometimes lose the focus of what is the impact behind it that we're actually trying to make. Is it that we're just trying to feed our ego and said, I got this, perfect thing out there? Or are we really trying to impact the community at large that might need the information that we want to send out there into the world? So I think getting back to our purpose and our intention is extremely key. I often say to myself, Ebony, just do this thing that you've been thinking about for years now. What is stopping you besides your own fear of what could happen or it might not be to your expectations?
Yeah.
And in all actuality, it's not that serious. So yes, just doing it and stop overthinking is often what we all need to tell ourselves. What would you suggest to people that don't necessarily have a very strong support system though? Because we all know that in order to achieve our dreams, a lot of times it takes teamwork. And we don't necessarily have the right team in place or what we perceive as the right team in place to carry out our dreams. Some of us have family and friends that are close to us and that can provide the level of support that we need. And others of us may not have close family and friends, but there are other ways to connect with people that will support your dream. Can you identify and encourage us to know how to do that effectively?
Yeah, I mean, like I have to say that I'm very supported by my husband. He's he's a hands-on, so that's really helpful. And then sometimes he travels, so it's just me and the kids, and we live like we are here in the UK, where we have grandparents now, but then we live in Canada. That's where I don't have anybody, like just friends. So it was a time that I had to sometimes get a nanny to be to help or to set up play dates.
Right.
So I mean, we're just talking about writing for me, but if you have like your goal is to become like healthy or other things, you can try to maybe, you know, ask for people around you. Sometimes people just want to help, but if you don't ask, they won't say, do you need help? I
Right.
think we as humans, we tend to be shy in many ways, like asking and or asking for help and people offering help, you know.
Right.
So sometimes we have to leave that fear aside and then just step out into uncomfortable zone, you
Right.
know, the zone that's, oh, I feel like they will just think as me as a failure because I'm helping, I need help. But sometimes, you know what, we are humans, we all need help. We all
Right.
need community. So if you have friends that are, you know, they are friendly, you can say, hey, would you like to, you know, start play dates? And it might turn out amazing that, you know, like you have that support system. So in Canada, for example, I have friends that, you know, sometimes they will have my daughter there and then at their place. And so we arrange once a week play date. So every other week, you know, one comes to the house and next week the other person goes to the other friend's house, and
Right.
that's one option. And then the other option would be to, you know, get the extra hours in. For example, I used to wake up a bit early, so when the children like are sleeping, so
Mhm.
you go to bed early and then you wake up early so you can have those hours just for yourself to exercise if it's that, or to write. And
Right.
yeah, so those are the few things that I did. And I kind of I haven't done it for a while now because they go to school, they go to preschool, so I use those days to do my work.
Right.
And then yeah, so that's what I've been doing so far, and I'll see how that evolves.
Yeah, and for those of you that are listening that haven't had an opportunity to look at my previous episodes where I was sharing some knowledge about how to best identify people that can provide you support when the people around you don't know what to do. Because
Yeah,
sometimes there are people around you that would like to help you. They want to help you with your dreams and goals and to live a healthier lifestyle, but they don't know exactly how to provide that support. It's not their lane, and it's not that they're being rude and don't want to help you, but they don't know how. So
yeah,
sometimes looking online, so many connections of mine have been made online, and so many of the people that I've also met in my local community have been met online. So it's not always about, there are not enough people in my neighborhood or in my immediate circle that I'm aware of.
yeah,
Sometimes going online and finding meetup groups, people you've never even met before, people that you wouldn't have met if it weren't for online, but finding meetup groups that meet on a weekly basis or a monthly basis and you're sharing common interests, sometimes
yeah.
those can make really, really good friends. And I think that we
True.
often forget that there are billions of people in this world. So just the same way that I met Theodora online, it was
Yeah.
just a matter of me extending an invitation to connect with her. It's the same way that any and everybody else can do it. I'm no different from you. We're all human beings. We all have a
Yeah.
mouth. We all have fingers, or many of us have fingers to type. So
Yeah.
it's just getting out of that discomfort sometimes with meeting new people and realizing that we are all in this together. And there are so many people out there that want to help support you and make it
Yeah.
a reciprocal relationship. You help them and they help you.
Yeah.
What would you say is your biggest intention with your social media presence? Because I'm going to leave all of your contact information in the description box, but when people follow you, they're going to see that you're really about family, you're really about humanity. So, what was your biggest intention behind creating that presence online?
So my I would say my social media journey has changed a lot. So I started by just sharing about my everyday life,
Uh-huh.
and then I love traveling. So we've been traveling. I used to live in London, UK, and then we moved to Canada. So I've been documenting that, and then just just recently I've been you know the Holy Spirit's like a reveal my purpose for me. And then I know that my purpose is to share my journey about how, how life might, might not be always what it seems. Because from where I come from where I am now, I've seen like a big evolution, I would say. Yeah.
Right.
Because yeah, I was born in Ghana, and then so when you come to my my social media platform, especially I use Instagram, and I'm going to start directing my blog for that journey, for you know to get it more outlined. Before it
Right.
wasn't like that. So if you come there, I would like you to be part of the journey of discovering ourselves, of walking through this life together. Because I feel like even online meetups, there's always a reason for people to meet. I don't
Yeah.
feel like people meet just for no reason. I've just seen like the connections I've made over these years, and I see that they all everyone has touched me,
Right.
in a way. So I would like to inspire other people to live that positive life, to see the good in everything, and even when the day seems like it's just pouring rain, to know that that rain is just a blessing too. So
Right.
get something out of our lives that is positive. That's the intention behind my blog, and I hope that comes across to people to relate and to live the best life, and
Right.
yeah, and especially to have faith. I mean,
Yeah.
because to know that God is there, even when you feel like He's not there, He's right there and He's guiding you. You just have to turn your attention to Him. And talking about vision board, I've done a lot of vision boards, and then to this point, I've seen like every time I did a vision board, it led me to where I am right now.
Uh-huh.
Because I started with confidence, and then trust, and then share. And I've seen that like, so I used to do my vision board as just doing it. And then right now I see that it wasn't that. It's just like my Holy Spirit guiding me towards something I didn't know. So that's the vision, that set your eyes on things unseen. It comes to that point that I didn't know where it was going, but I just felt like, oh yeah, I'm doing this vision board. I'll get some confidence this year, and then the following year, so yeah, I have to trust. And this year, that's when I woke up in my faith, and it's like, share the story. So share what has been happening. So
Right.
it's a milestone, it's a foundation. So you build it up, and then slowly the story will come out. So
Right.
that's where I am right now. I'm still, laying my foundation and see how it goes.
Yeah. And you don't have to know all the pieces to the puzzle. You just need to know how to get through this moment in
Yeah,
time and take it one step at a time. So I
yeah,
think that you'll find that when you look back on this moment in your life, you'll see how all of those connections played a role and how it helped you to grow and how it strengthened you so that when you need to overcome obstacles in your next life lesson, you're able to do that because you built that muscle to do that.
yeah,
All of your contact information is going to be in the description box. I want for everyone listening to follow you because I want to read this book that you're going to have come out.
yeah.
I as well, I as well want to hold myself accountable as I see other people's books come out. I'm going to say to myself, well, man, I need to continue on this path so I can get my book out.
Yeah.
So I'm going to look toward you and other people as a source of inspiration and encouragement. anyone that's listening to this, if you also want to share your success story or any challenges that you may be facing, put it out there into the world so that other women can hear about you, feel free to reach out to me. All my contact information is in the description box. I'm very welcoming to people to also join my Nutrition for Busy Women Facebook group. That's a community of purpose-driven, like-minded women where we are all supportive and encouraging to one another. So if you're looking for a community where you need that solid base of ladies that are going to inspire and encourage you and also support you, I invite you to join us. And once you do join us, you will have an opportunity to get a complimentary gift, one in which will help you identify what your life purpose is. For those of you that haven't listened to previous episodes, I'm trained in the areas of career counseling and health and wellness. And what I do is I merge both disciplines together to help people to discover what their life purpose is and to enhance that life purpose so that they can live a full and meaningful life while being healthy at the same time. So if that sounds like something that you're on the path to doing, enhancing your life, which I'm hoping that we all are. I haven't arrived yet. If you're looking for someone to help support you in that manner, please reach out to me and I would love to be able to connect my story with yours and we provide support to each other. You guys have an awesome rest of the day wherever you are in the world, and I look forward to connecting with you in our next episode. I'll talk to you guys. Thank you so much, Theodora. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. Bye.